Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm RoboMonk, and this is RoboMonk Art and Tarot. Today we are exploring what major blessing is heading your way. It may be something that is entirely different than you're thinking. As you know, Spirit works in mysterious ways, so we'll find out together. This is a pick a card, so we're going to choose which pile we want. But first, I wanted to say thank you so much to all of my subscribers, all of my viewers. I truly appreciate you being here right now. And I have opened up personal readings, so if you want any details about that, look in the description and they'll give you all the details you need. All right, let's get to the piles. So pile 1, we have purple amethyst. Pile 2, we have black onyx. And pile 3, we have red jasper. There are also 3 images there, so feel free to choose which pile really resonates with you. And I will see you there. Hello, pile 1, and thank you so much for being here with me today. Today we are exploring what major blessing is coming your way. So we have 3 cards, and then a bridge card, and then 3 other cards. So the first 3 cards are going to be where you're at right now, what you're feeling. The bridge card is going to be part of the blessing, what's going to change. And then the other 3 cards are actually going to be what the blessing is about. Okay, so let's get started. The first image I see is one of a Venus flytrap. They are a plant that actually wait with their appendage or mouth or whatever you want to call it open. And they wait for a fly to come in. They smell very sweet and very good to the fly. And then they snap shut very quickly so that the fly can't escape. And that's how they actually live and thrive. I feel like this is maybe something that happened to you in a certain situation where you may have thought that a situation was better than what it was. And you went in trusting a person or the situation, and all of a sudden you are trapped. You don't feel great where you're at, and you aren't really sure how to get out. And that is not a good feeling at all. So just know that Spirit is listening to you and is going to send a blessing your way in getting out of this trap. But let's look a little bit more into what's going on. So I also see a tool that gets out honey from a jar, and it's dripping with honey, which tells me that this was a situation that seemed sweet at first to you. You really thought it was going to be a great situation, whether this be a relationship, whether this be a new job or something of that sort, or even just getting into with a new product or a new subscription to a service. You really thought it was going to be great. But now you may be trapped, right? You may be trapped and not knowing what to do next. The second image I see is one of a braid of hair coming down from a female energy's head. And this is important here. What I'm sensing is there may be feelings that seem a little confused right now. So you're confused about the situation because things around you could be still somewhat sweet, but not too sweet. You aren't sure if you really want to let go of this situation, but something's telling you that you might have to or you might need to. I'm also seeing a bunch of wires that are kind of tangled together. I don't know if you've ever tried to untangle wires that have been put into a box, electronic wires. It's impossible to untangle them. Somehow they just get in and out of each other, and they tie knots in each other. I feel like this is something that you are going through right now with your emotions, because this is a female energy with the braid here. So that tends to be more of the emotional insight, the psychic insight. And I feel like you're kind of scrambled about what to do in this trap situation, because there are some good things about it, but quickly you're realizing that the bad things, the bad elements of the situation are outweighing the good elements of the situation. Okay? And you seem a little confused on the emotional state of yourself and the situation and what to do about it. The next image I see is a skateboarder. A person that is riding a skateboard on a sidewalk, and right up ahead of them is a crack that they aren't seeing right now. And this may be something that has happened to you before, where you're riding along trying to balance your life, and then all of a sudden something trips you up, and it seems so annoying, so unavoidable at the time, but you felt like you've gotten things finally under control, and then something trips you up. And this may be one of the reasons why you went into this honey trap, because you finally thought, oh, this is the one, this will actually not trip me up this way, but it has again, and you're very frustrated. So with this, I see the number 2 above the skateboarder. In numerology, part of the aspect of the number 2 is being instinctually aware of your feelings, thoughts, hopes, and fears. And I feel like this has been dulled a little bit with this situation. It may not be as sharp as what it needs to be. And Spirit is coming in with a blessing to actually help you out with this. Because maybe if this was a little sharper, you won't be in this situation again, right? You can instinctually say, oh, you know what? That's not for me, because I'm going this way, because this resonates more with me. And maybe you'll have a little bit more clarity, right? A little bit more clarity with yourself and why you are here. And you're going to project out, you're going to manifest different energies that won't be a trap, that won't derail you from why you're here. So Spirit is coming in and balancing out this feminine energy with a masculine energy. And this is all about a way of being and a way of thinking. Not necessarily another person coming into your life. It's more necessarily the way of thinking about this trap that you may be in and avoiding traps in the future. So this blessing coming to you is really going to balance you out and really make you sharper, more aware, and intuitively know what is good for you and what is bad for you. We all have to go through this. It's something that we all must work on every day. But having this blessing come through with Spirit's help is going to be huge for you. On the 5th card here, I see an arrow flying straight and true, cutting through all of these cords, cutting through all of this confusion. And it's going to be an arrow of truth. Yes, an arrow of truth. One that will really help you define exactly what it is you want. Why were you lured into this honey trap, this Venus flytrap? Why were you lured in, and why are you so confused right now? Well, there are different elements about this trap that you actually truly want, right? They just are misrepresented in this situation. They're kind of twisted. They're not true. So this arrow of truth is going to come in and say, okay, I know, let's say in a relationship, I know that I want a person that is going to be next to me, right? Be with me. I know that I want a person that is going to support me and love me. And with this relationship that I have right now, this person is with me, but they may not support me, right? So there's different elements of these honey traps or these Venus fly traps that you like. But what this is going to do with this balance of the feminine and masculine energy is have you have clarity about exactly what you want. So when you see something coming up ahead that looks good, you can say, well, does it have everything I want? Does it have everything I need to balance out my energies? So that's a huge blessing coming in from Spirit with that. There's a lot more ahead here, so let's take a look. The number 2 is also about communication. I feel a block in your communication right now because you are confused about what's going on. You can't clearly communicate to others, but more importantly to yourself about how you're feeling about this. And this balancing of the masculine and feminine energies inside of you is going to be huge. You will be able to clearly communicate with yourself exactly what you want. All of a sudden, you're going to look at your situation and say, oh, that's why I don't like this. That's why I don't need this, right? And it's going to be very helpful in getting out of that trap and getting you where you need to go. And ultimately, it's going to lead to a major abundance for you. A major abundance. It's going to be emotional abundance. It's going to be spiritual abundance. It's going to be filling that cup. Now, there's a couple of other images of why you may be feeling trapped here, and then why this is such a blessing. And I wanted to share that with you as well, pile 1. Right now, this is just the confirmation of you may feel like you can't clearly communicate to yourself exactly why you don't like this situation. You can't put your finger on it, right? And thus, the kind of confusion, the emotional confusion, and the spiritual confusion. And you may feel that your emotional cup is really low. It's not being filled by the situation. It's being depleted. And what Spirit is going to do, and how to do this, how to make this transition, is actually very important. You need to talk to Spirit. How do you do that? You can close your eyes. You can take a walk out in nature. You can listen to calming music. But make sure that it is you and Spirit, the only energies that are present there in that room or in that space. Spirit has to communicate with you, and a lot of times different aspects of our lives can interfere with that, whether it be responsibilities, whether it be different distractions, right? But it has to be you and Spirit, and that's it. So however you make that work, Spirit is going to give you a lot of different signs and ways to actually balance out your masculine with your feminine. Everyone is different with this change here, and this is a general reading, so I can't be too specific here. But with this balancing, it's going to lead you exactly where you want to go and give you so much more clarity in the process. So what to actually ask Spirit with this? What am I missing in my life that will make me feel purposeful? And what do I have in my life that I am overlooking? What qualities do I have in my life that I already possess that I'm not using yet? Those are the two questions that you should ask Spirit. Spirit will have an answer for you. Trust me. All right. And the last few images here is one of a bug with antennae. This bug's antennae is a representation of that intuitive knowing. Bugs know when things are around them that are good and when they are bad, right? They can truly sense it. But you're going to become intuitively aware of abundance around you and where to find it and go towards it. So this is a major, major, major blessing coming into you, Pile 1, and I'm so excited for you because, gosh, we have all been in that Venus flytrap. And to get this clarity in your life is going to be so amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for contributing your energy. Thank you for everything. Know that you're loved. Know that you're blessed. And I'll see you next time. Hello, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today, we are going to explore what major blessing is coming your way. We have 3 cards on the left, a bridge card in between, and 3 cards on the right. So the 3 cards on the left are going to be what's happening now. The bridge card is going to be a little bit about the blessing, and then the actual 3 cards on the right are going to be what the blessing is about. So let's get started. The first image I see is one of a pine tree sprig. It's a little branch of a pine tree. This talks of immortality. And because the pine tree forever has represented immortality because it is an evergreen and it's actually pretty frequent where I'm at, but it actually never loses its greenness, right? So if it's wintertime, if it's summertime, it's always green. So the ancients thought that it really represented immortality very well. So with this little sprig, it tells me that you may be searching for immortality, a way to really leave your mark here, because ultimately you may be afraid of dying, right? Leaving this earth plane, leaving other people behind, and leaving things undone. The next image is one of a skull and a dead flower. And these images are always representative of death, right? And it seems that you may be thinking about it, at least recently or recently in the past, as we all do, right? We all think about death and what that would be like and what we're leaving behind, and have we done all that we can here? And did I do a good job while I was here on this earth plane? Because we only have a finite amount of time. And that's why you always see people wanting this immortality, right? To live forever so that they are never forgotten and their energy can truly live on. The third card goes along this line of a person standing on top of the world very confidently and letting the world know that they are there, that they want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want people to remember them by. And a lot of people do this through seeking fame. I see a pair of sunglasses representing stardom or fame, or money. There's a little coin there representing money. So if they get a whole bunch of money, then they can influence people and make them remember them. I see a fist raised up, and this would be power, right? Sometimes people go after power to be remembered so they can be immortalized that way. And the last image I see is one of a parent and children. Sometimes people have children to live through them, right? To carry on their memories, carry on their ways, and then therefore live through them and become immortal through their children. So all of these different ways are how we as humans try and become immortal. But we all know that we are going to die one day. Well, Spirit has a major paradigm shift. What is a paradigm shift? It is a complete change of the way we are thinking. In this complete change in the way we are thinking, Spirit opens up a very bold message to us, and it's one that we actually know. We just really try and forget it. I think here in this earth plane, I think when we are born, we just concentrate on survival here with this body, because that's what we're programmed to do. We try and really work through our human body to perceive things around us. But the big blessing and this paradigm shift that Spirit is coming in to say is that we are already immortal. Our souls that are inside of our human bodies are immortal. We don't have to chase immortality because we already have it. We don't have to fear death because we don't die. We are an immortal soul. So the soul, as we experience it through this human body, is what is important, right? So we always have to keep our human body as well as possible, physically fit, mentally fit, just to experience life in the best way we can while we're here. But everyone you meet has an immortal soul, every single person. And it could be that you've met them in a previous lifetime and you're meeting them again. So that is a huge paradigm shift in what we are taught every day here in society, right? So if you haven't thought about it that way, then it's something to think about. And if you have, we can easily forget it, right? We can easily forget that huge gift that we have of immortality. We won't keep our human body, but we will keep our immortal soul. So what's next? Spirit is saying when we interact with other people, we have to keep in mind that they are an immortal soul as well. So even though they have different human bodies here, we are all immortal souls made up of the same stuff, right? So we have to really actually concentrate on how we are affecting their souls. Are we uplifting them when we meet them? Are we trying our best to interact with them in a good way? I see a picture here of a soul and other souls around him. And there's a light side and a dark side. We've all done this before where we haven't lived up to what we should have done. Sometimes we have regrets about things that we've said. Sometimes we have regrets about things that we've done. And Spirit knows this. We have a lot of human emotions getting in our way, right? And it's part of why we're here. It's part of experiencing this through humanity, because there is a lot of different ways to experience this life. And sometimes it's tough, right? Sometimes we fail those tests and we just have to get better. But the ultimate question is, with this immortal soul, how are we affecting the other immortal souls around us? Are we uplifting them, right? The last card I see is an arrow upward, and that should always be our focus, to truly lift up this world as best as we can. You may have heard of a light worker, and that's exactly what they do. They go out and they try and shine their light and brighten the world, right? We can all achieve that. We can all brighten the world. And I've seen some great responses of people on how they want to change the world from a different video that I did. And it's beautiful, you know, it's absolutely beautiful. And I just love the energy that we have on this channel, because it is truly uplifting to all of us. And is Spirit saying that you shouldn't chase fame, you shouldn't have children, you shouldn't get in a place of power or have money? No, that's not what Spirit is saying. Spirit had me draw a circle around those images and move them over. And the only question Spirit wants you to ask is, why are you seeking fame? Why are you having children? Why are you seeking power? Why do you want money? Is it to uplift? Is it to bring other immortal souls down here to this 3D earth realm and to teach them uplifting ways? Great. Is it to spread the influence and help this world be a better place? Amazing. Do it. Right? Do it. Have that be your mission. That is the question. It's really easy to look out into the culture and say, oh, I want fame to be famous, so people know my name, so they won't forget it. And Spirit is saying, no, that's not the way to do it. Why do you want to be famous? You want to be famous to uplift people. You want to be famous to have your light shine even brighter and wider, so you influence others in the most positive way you can, right? So Pile 2, I hope this resonates with you. I hope this brings you clarity. And it's a major blessing coming your way. It truly is. And I feel like I've gotten something from this too. It was a really good message. So I hope this resonates. Know that you're loved. Know that you're blessed. And I'll see you next time. Hello, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today we are seeing what major blessing is coming your way. So as you can see, we have 3 cards on the left, 3 cards on the right, and a bridge card in the middle. The 3 cards on the left are going to be a little bit about what's happening now. The bridge card is how the blessing is going to come into your life and a little bit about that. And then the 3 cards on the right are going to be about the blessing itself and how it will affect you. So let's get started. The first image I see is a person sitting on a cliff with an umbrella, and it is definitely raining. They are looking out past the cliff, and they seem to be deep in thought, really wondering what to do next. I get the sense that they aren't really quite sure where to go and what to do. This can happen a lot as we go along in our lifetime here, and I think we can all relate to this at some point in our lives. So if you are at one of these points in your life, then this may be a great message for you. And if you've ever been there or, find yourself there again, listen on, because this may be a way to get you out of that situation. The next image I see is one of a crow. I've drawn a crow before, and the meanings change based on the situation and based on the position of the card. The crow in this instance is really challenging you to reflect on your values and your sacred laws, and to really think about what is sacred to you, what has meaning to you, what is something that is so true that you could not go on living without. That's a bold challenge from Spirit, right? That is one of the big questions that we have to answer when we're here. I get the feeling that you are always searching for time, and you may not feel like you have enough of it at this point. So you are continually saying, I'll think about it later. I don't really have time right now. I have to do this, this, and this. So can you guess what Spirit is going to say about that? That's right. It's time now. And the reason why you are feeling like you don't have a direction, the reason why Spirit is challenging you to look at what's sacred to you, and the reason why you don't feel like you have a lot of time, they're all one and the same problem. They are just symptoms of the cause. So Spirit is going to give you a blessing to alleviate this problem for you. And it truly has to do with taking enough time to talk with Spirit, taking enough time to meditate, pray, however you get messages from Spirit, right? And finding that time. Because what's happening is, deep down inside, why you are feeling a little lost, Spirit is reminding you that there is this little light, this granular of truth, this little truth that wants to grow inside of you. And as much as you may try to distract yourself from it, it's always there. It's like a grain of sand in your eye that just won't go away. Even if you try to say, oh, I don't believe it. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's something that actually is a big deal. And Spirit is reminding you that there is a truth inside of you that you need to nourish, respect, love, and let it shine. So if you are looking out and not knowing where to go, look inward to find your passion, to find why it is you are here. Spirit will let you know. Spirit will guide you towards that. But there's this granular of truth that is coming your way that you will discover as you talk to Spirit. And a good compass of how you may be feeling about this truth is either does it uplift you now, realizing this truth, does it uplift you now, or will it uplift you in the near future or in the far future? Is it something to strive for, right? So if you are feeling uplifted, or you know you will be uplifted by this truth, then that is the one to go for. That's what Spirit is telling me. Sometimes it's difficult to sort through our thoughts, right? So as for this blessing, finding this little truth inside of you is actually going to make you turn around from the cliff, not needing your umbrella anymore, and just walking your own path, realizing you didn't actually have to be on this cliff anyways. There wasn't actually an end of the road. You were just at the wrong place. There was a different road you needed to travel. So Spirit hasn't put up any walls to stop you from traveling. It was that you were actually traveling the wrong direction, and you needed to turn around and go towards where you needed to be. The 6th card is one of a hammer and an anvil, and this is straight out of the Rider-Waite deck. I always think of this as working hard, right? Working hard on discovering and nourishing this truth and igniting that flame, right? Igniting that passion again. Because this is why you are here. If you are feeling lost, then you haven't found your truth yet. So once you have found it, hold on to it. Give it light, give it work, give it passion. Continue on with it. When you feel that burning inside and it's uplifting you, it's uplifting your spirit, it's uplifting others around you, that is a really good reason why you are here then. In the 7th card, I see a heart and a sun overlapping each other. This tells me that your passion and your light will shine through if you nourish this truth. And it will give you so much purpose, so much meaning to be here. And you may still feel like you don't have enough time, but it's for an incredibly amazing reason, because you have so much to do now, where before you were just sitting on this cliff wondering what you should do. Well, now you know what it is, and now you know what you need to do, and you're asking yourself, do I have enough time to complete this? Is this going to actually work? Is this going to actually happen? Do your best. Do your best. Because Spirit is guiding you towards this. So trust in Spirit that Spirit will give you enough time to complete it. But just do your best every day to try and make this passion flourish. All right, pile 3. I truly hope this resonates with you, and I thank you for being here with me, adding your energy to this reading. Know that you're loved, know that you're blessed, and I'll see you next time.